Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm John Adams. Tonight, our top story focuses on youth mental health. Parents, teachers, and friends have a strong influence in preventing high-risk teens from committing suicide. Our Sydney Dorner sat down with two Portland teens overcoming mental health battles that are now using that knowledge to help out others. Sydney, what did you learn?
John, there's this new research from the University of Oregon showing that when teens feel a strong sense of belonging in their community, that can make just as big of an impact on their mental health as medication or therapy.
I struggled with wanting to disappear, but never really wanting to die.
Aditi Khanna is a senior at Westview High School in Beaverton. She's been battling with anxiety and her mental health since 7th grade.
I didn't want to have to deal with the day-to-day life stuff. I didn't want to have to deal with issues with my friends. I didn't want to have to deal with getting out of bed in the morning.
Things started to look up for her when her mom suggested she go to therapy and start taking medication.
I would just kind of wallow when things got really bad, and I would just let it kind of consume me. And now it's if I'm having a really bad week or I'm dealing with a lot of anxiety, I can take some time in myself to be okay, I know what I need, and I know I need to pull myself out of this.
Now she's pulling others out of the same dark place, working at Youthline, a national teen-to-teen crisis support line. The CDC says 20% of U.S. high schoolers have had serious thoughts about suicide. Lauren Burney from University of Oregon analyzed data from a group of almost 300 high-risk teens. She found social connections in schools and in their community lowered the risk of suicide attempts.
It's not just receiving clinical health treatment. It's also feeling supported and feeling belonging.
Burney also found strong social connections had the same protective effect for survivors of sexual and physical abuse or teens with disordered eating. She says schools can help foster protective relationships through peer support groups or mentorship programs. Anna Catherine Scroy also works for Youthline.
You might have to look a little hard and find a group of people that you really connect with, but it's very likely that they are out there.
Now, Youthline has people ready to help and provide emotional support. If you or a teen you know is struggling, you can reach them at the number listed on your screen, 877-968-8491. John, back to you.
Sydney, thank you. Very brave of them to share their story. If you or someone you know is in crisis, help is also available through the National Suicide in Crisis Lifeline. Call or text 988. It's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This afternoon, a local church invited the community for a gathering to remember the youth impacted by gun violence. This was the scene at Augusta Lutheran Church during its interfaith vigil and memorial service. Among the attendees was Multnomah County's Prevention and Health Promotion Community Adolescent Health Team. They say gun violence is among the leading causes of death for young people. One member of that team says events like this aren't just to remember those we've lost, but also express that reducing gun violence is a collaborative effort.
We all are impacted to varying degrees by gun violence, that it really requires all of us, and really, again, bringing forth those different voices and perspectives.
The vigil also took time to recognize and celebrate those who had survived gun violence, plus those working to prevent violence among youth. Well, turning now to weather, here's a live look outside this afternoon where we've been seeing some showers across the last Sunday of April. And let's get a first check of your forecast with meteorologist Joe Ranieri. And Joe, what are the next couple of days and the end of April looking like?
Well, John, similar to what we saw earlier today, we'll have some sunshine, some sun breaks, and maybe some hail and some of the thunderstorms mixed in between. We really haven't seen much in terms of thunderstorms develop throughout the metro area and really along the coast at all today. We could be seeing that heading into tomorrow, but a beautiful end to your Sunday afternoon over at the reserve in Aloha. Temperature of 55 degrees at this hour. And here's the setup as we head into the work week. We have some unstable air out there. We're going to be looking at some spotty showers at times, also with some sun breaks at times as well. So that's kind of the mixed bag, if you will, as we get ready to wrap up the last couple of days of April. Up in the Oregon Cascades, a little bit of some snow showers, as you can see right now, starting to melt a little bit on our camera lens. Temperature of 31 degrees late tonight and into tomorrow. We're going to be looking at heavy snow snowfall will be measured in feet over the next several days or so. As we look at the hour-by-hour forecast, we'll see those showers move in really after midnight, and they will be heavy at times during when most of us are asleep. And then heading into tomorrow morning, those showers pick up again, and we could be seeing some thunderstorms develop. But again, we're going to be looking at some showery conditions, but by the later part of this week, things will start to improve just a little bit. I'll talk more about that in a few minutes.
All right, Joe, thank you. Sheriff's deputies in 2 counties worked together to arrest a reckless driver Saturday afternoon. It started just after 1 when a Lincoln County Sheriff's deputy spotted a minivan driving fast and recklessly down Highway 20 near Crystal Creek Loop in Eddyville. After pulling the minivan over, the driver, 33-year-old Gregory Knoll of Vancouver, refused to follow commands and got in his car and drove off after the deputy tried to tase him. The driver then fled into Benton County, then back into Lincoln County until he was stopped by spike strips near Pioneer Mountain Loop. Knoll was arrested and booked on charges of reckless driving, attempt to elude, and driving under the influence, among others. No one was hurt. A crash in Hillsborough leaves 1 person fighting for their life. First responders are at the intersection of Century Boulevard and Jacobson, where a single car had crashed. 1 person has been hospitalized with critical injuries. Century Boulevard was closed in the area while police investigated. Portland police are looking for a suspect that may be behind multiple instances of sexual abuse. The most recent case happened Tuesday in the area of Northeast Thompson and MLK. Before that was an incident on April the 3rd, and a police report in that case mentions a similar occurrence back in early December. In all 3 cases, a man approached a woman from behind, touched them inappropriately before running off. The 2 cases that were reported to police say the incidents happened at midday or early afternoon. More than $2 million in funding could help day centers like the Blanchet House, assisting those experiencing homelessness in Multnomah County. It comes after the county included an extension of funding for the Blanchet House and other day centers in the 2025 budget. The emergency funding was first approved last fall and would expire this summer. With the current budget proposal, funding would be extended to help pay for services such as providing meals and clothing. The executive director of the Blanchet House says the funding is critical to continue serving the community.
We help to stabilize people while they're waiting for shelter and housing to be available to them. But once people are sheltered, they still have a lot of essential needs. Even after they're sheltered, they're still very, very poor and very, very insecure in a lot of the needs that you need, frankly, to live.
The proposed budget also renewed funding for the Old Town InReach program. The program pairs people experiencing homelessness with specialists who have overcome homelessness, addiction, and mental illness. A series of hearings will be held on the budget before it's approved in June. Portland's Oak Amusement Park was the site of a different kind of celebration. The Autism Society of Oregon held the 22nd annual Autism Walk today. About 2,000 people from Oregon and Southwest Washington were expected to visit. The event featured resource tables, costume characters, and various activities. The group says at this point, most people are aware of autism. Now their goal is promoting acceptance.
What we're trying to do here is make a day that's fun for the people in the community and for their family members and other supporters, to also have a lot of information here from all the different resource tables, and to make a place where community members can meet each other.
I hope that all of you get involved more and help others and learn how to accept autism and other disabilities as well.
To accommodate those with sensory sensitivities, the event gave out free fidget toys, offered a quiet room, and did not play any music. All the funds raised go back to support the Society's programs.